Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's One Piece Treasure Cruise video, we are going to prepare for the upcoming Treasure Map vs Tashigi. This will be the first treasure map after the official sync. Everyone gets the exact same preemptive attacks and bosses and everything of course, and boosters even, but we have some core treasure map changes. First of all, as far as rewards go, the last year legend pool ticket that we were getting in global for the 7 million reward and the 10 million reward is now nerfed, and the pool of legends will be starting from Onami's and Komurasaki's batch all the way up until the latest batch. But for Japan, the same pool applies, although their legend ticket was completely random, they did not have a pool, and I guess you can say this is a middle ground between the two versions. But in my opinion, this is a horrible change. You should have simply given the last year legend ticket to Japan as well and not nerf it for global. The other big change, I guess it can be seen both as bad and good depending on your point of view. Now we have 3 stages for every boss and mini-boss in Treasure Map. To give a very simple example, everything is now exactly like the Intrusion Battle. Stage 1 will provide a special cooldown reduction to units with specific classes or colors. Stage number 2 will either have mobs or a mini-boss, and then for stage number 3 we will be getting the main boss of each battle. This change can definitely be seen as positive because we now have faster clears, but at the same time it can be seen as a negative change simply because team building will be a bit harder now, and they can stop you from using specific units even though they would work in a normal treasure map scenario by not giving them cooldown reduction in stage 1. But I digress. Tell me in the comments below your thoughts on these changes, and without further ado, let's get to my preparation guide for Treasure Map vs Tashigi. The first mini boss this time will be Int Kinemon, and in the first boss everyone is actually going to get a special cooldown reduction. He is the easiest boss of course, and in the final stage Kinemon will give you 5 turns of despair on your captains, 3 turns of attack down, and he will have full immunity. For my team here I am using Treasure Map Mugiwara 56 Sanji as double captain, but of course he is not needed, you can replace with whatever you want, but since I have him, might as well. Then I am using Sai free-to-play Straw Hat Robin, who is actually going to deal with the attack down and can give you guaranteed matching slots to adjacent units, but also remove despair if you want to use Krieg Pirates elsewhere. The Krieg Pirates can help us completely remove despair and also give us a damage boost. None of the units in the bottom row are boosted by Sanji, they are just here for the multiplier or utility. If you want to use them in another team, feel free to replace accordingly. Treasure Map Vivi is here because of color advantage, and of course she's also boosted by Sanji. Very straightforward boss to team build around, so everyone will use a stat boosting support. No specific sockets are needed except if you do not use the Krieg Pirates, then you can completely remove despair with Robin just by having sockets for despair. The team can do over 30 million damage, and the point multiplier is at 3.96 times. The next mini-boss will be Strength, Law and Chopper, and they will give a special cooldown reduction to Slasher, Powerhouse and Fighter units. In stage number 3, you will get a full board of block slots, 5 turns of Special Bind, 5 turns of Paralysis, and the boss will also gain Delay Immunity. My team for this boss is using double Kizuna, Sangoro and Zoro as captains, they are great here, and as subs we have Rayleigh and Gaban. They are not needed to remove Special Bind if you did not pull them, do not worry, they are only here for an ore boost. Then we have Treasure Map Shiryu for a color affinity boost. Then Pirate Rumble Don Chinzao is a beast here because he can deal with everything. He can remove block slots, Special Bind and also Paralysis, and on top of all that give you a chain boost. And finally Treasure Map Drake is here just because he is Slasher. This team can use stat boosting supports, no specific sockets are needed, the damage can be over 12 million, it is actually way over that because the database cannot calculate increased damage taken that Sangoro Zoro provide to the enemy, but just know it is way over that. and then the point boost is 4.61 times. The next mini-boss is actually Dex Smoker. Strength, Dex and Q characters will be getting their specials reduced in stage 1, and Smoker in stage 3 will give you a full board of block slots, 5 turns of making type slots, specifically unfavorable, and then 4 turns of threshold for himself. My team here is using Super Sugofest Oden as captain, 6-star at first, but then after we are able to super evolve him after 3 million, you can use the 6+ version as well for more damage. Then we have Colosseum Morley, who later on can be replaced by the new Treasure Map Tashigi when you max her special. That will give you more points but less damage output. Then we have Treasure Map Mihawk, who is here to do damage, his special is not necessary. Arena Luffy will give you a full board of matching slots, a 3.5 times chain lock, and allow Oden to make all of your matching slots Wano. And then Koala is here to give you an attack boost. During your special activations, make sure you activate Luffy before Oden so you can get the Wano slots and of course evade the debuff of non-matching type slots. This team can use stat boosting supports, no sockets are needed. The damage is over 25 million with Tashigi. If you use Morley, it will probably be even more. And then the point boost is 4.45 times, again with Tashigi later on and not Morley. With Morley, of course, the point boost is a bit less. The next mini boss is also Dex, but this time we have Zoro. And in stage number 1, Fighter, Free Spirit and Striker units will have their specials reduced. In the final stage, Zoro will specially reverse you for 1 turn. Then for the top row units, they will have Slot Bind for 10 turns. Zoro will gain Delay Immunity. He will also gain a 2-turn barrier that will need 3 good hits in order to break. And finally, 5 turns of damage reduction. After you beat him, he will revive at 30% of his maximum HP, give you empty slots, and make them impossible to change by locking them behind a good hit. The team I will be using for this fight uses the new Super Sugofest dual unit V2 Straw Hats as double captain, but if you do not have them yourself, you should use them only as friend captain, and then replace the captain with whatever you like and will help you clear. The rest of the needed units on the team are free-to-play Garp, who will give you your specials back and remove barrier completely with his double special activation. Sengoku will remove damage reduction, and if you start the quest as the Dex crew side of the Straw Hat crew, then in the final stage you want to swap to Luffy. That will remove the slot bind your friend captain has and give you a guaranteed strength slot. Then activate Sengoku and he will also give you chain boundaries, increasing your damage. The other 2 units in the bottom row are simply free-to-play placeholders. You can use whatever you want that will help you beat this quest. For example, if you do replace the captain with your captain, first of all, you cannot remove slot bind if the captain does not have the correct limit break ability, but it is fine, the damage will still be enough, that is not the issue. The issue will most likely be that in order to deal with all of the revive mechanics, you need to be able to lock the slots, the rainbow slots, that your friend Captain Straw Hat crew will provide. Meaning you need a unit to lock slots. You can either replace Olin to do that, or Crocodile to do that, or even have a support, whatever you like, just make sure you lock the slots so they are not changed to empty. Even if you have both 6-star and 6+ Oden, you can use one of them here, the one you are not using in the other team, and make matching slots Wano if you do not want to lock the rainbow slots. My specific team though does not need any specific supports or sockets. It can do over 67 million damage and the point boost is 5.58. For the main boss of this treasure map, weirdly enough, we do not have Tashigi, we have Strength Luffy. In stage 1, Q, Sai and Int characters will get their specials reduced. In stage number 2, you will be inflicted with 5 turns of a chain coefficient reduction debuff. The enemy will gain delay immunity and also 6 turns of a defense up shield. Then in stage number 3, 8 turns of top row Despair, 5 turns of top row Bind. All of your slots will be turned to block. You will have 3 turns of Hunger, and finally the boss will also gain delay immunity. My team will be using double Treasure Map Legend Bone Clay and also Treasure Map Rare Recruit Caesar, the new batch, which is pretty much made for this quest, but do not worry, I will offer replacements. The rest of my team is Treasure Map Hyogoro, Rare Recruit Strength Soba Mask, and also Legend 6+ Brook. To quickly explain this team, Hyogoro in stage 4 will remove defense up and give you a color affinity boost. You can use your friend Captain Bone Clay to get a full board of matching slots, boost your base attack, get a chain lock with his super typing to of course bypass the chain coefficient reduction, and then you can make your friend Captain the color that has the color advantage over the miniboss. For the final stage, you are going to need to have maximum charge special sockets and despair sockets, and that will allow Soba Mask to get his special because he is not Q-Sai or Int, and neither is Brook, so these units won't be getting a special cooldown reduction in stage 1. For Brook's special we do not care, we are never gonna use it. For Soba though we do care, so you need to have him at max level, max limit break, you need to have a sip to reduce cooldowns like the Hoe, and then both of your Bone Clay Captain specials and also Hyogoro will give special cooldown reduction. Along with the preemptives, all in all, if you have him at max special level, Soba Mask will get his special for the final stage. Activating him there will remove 2 turns of Despair and also Bind, and then Valentine Nami support will give you 2 turns of extra Despair removal. Then we have Pedro, who will automatically activate the support on Brook of course, to remove 2 turns of Despair as well. And then your sockets at maximum level will completely remove it. The bind is technically gone by now because of Soba and Valentine Nami, but Caesar can also remove it. Caesar will give you an ore boost, that's why he's here, and then Bone Clay of course will remove block slots, give you a full board of matching slots, boost your base attack, and again with his super typing give you a chain lock, but also gain color advantage and super typing by becoming Q. Q of course the color that has color advantage over Luffy, the main boss. To remove Hunger, you need to consume some RCV slots that Bone Clay will provide, and the number will depend on how high the Hunger limit break ability of Bone Clay, your captains and friend captains, is. Now for some replacements. If you do not want to use the whole combo with the Straw Hats in the bottom row, or you do not have Caesar, you can swap all of these 3 units out for Kizuna Krieg Pirates. They remove Bind, Despair, and will also give you a conditional attack boost because Luffy does not have full immunity. If you also do not have Bone Clay, you can replace him with a unit that you think will fit the role of captain well, but you need to use a friend captain Bone Clay, so you can deal with the final stage by removing block slots, getting RCV slots, and also dealing with the Hunger. If you of course also use the Krieg Pirates, then you will most likely have empty slots in your crew, which you can fill with whatever units will help you in either stage 2 or 3, depending on what you need, and also what color the miniboss is, because as of now, we do not know that. For my team, you have to use Valentine Nami and Pedro as supports, everyone else can be stat boosters. For sockets, you need maximum level special charge and despair. The maximum damage I cannot calculate because the new bats and Bone Clay specifically are not yet available for the damage calculator, and the point boost of this team, since we have many boosters, is 17.35 times. Finally, time for the Intrusion Battle versus Tashigi this time, and in stage 1, Fighter, Free Spirit and Slasher units will be getting the special cooldown reduction. In stage number 2, we will either get a Sai or Int unit, it will change between these 2 colors. We will have a limitation for 2 specials per turn for 1 turn, while the enemy also has delay immunity. For stage number 3, Tashigi will either change to Strength, Dex or Q. she will give us a full board of block slots, special reverse the sailors for 1 turn, give us a chain coefficient reduction, then also give us another chain debuff, but also make all of the type slots unfavorable and gain defense down immunity. On top of all that, for the first time in a long time, we are getting an interruption from an Intrusion Battle boss, and this time Tashigi, if you use a special to get a chain boost or a chain lock, then she will blow away 2 crewmates and remove all beneficial effects. Finally, when you defeat her, she will deal 60,000 damage to you. How do we deal with all of that? My team is using double bone clay again, of course, extremely easy to beat everything with him. He is pretty much the only unit you are going to need. For a very high boost though, I'm also using Treasure Map Hyogoro, V2 Straw Hat crew, Oden 6 star or 6+, it does not matter, and then Treasure Map Rare Recruit Caesar. Again, I have to offer replacements, so stick around, but my team in stage number 2 will activate 2 units, Oden to give you damage and 1 Bone Clay special. Bone Clay of course can give you the color advantage over the enemy, and then he will give you guaranteed matching slots and boost your damage. For stage number 3, whatever color Tashigi decides to become, we can activate our Captain Bone Clay and we can become the color that has color advantage over Tashigi to easily beat her and also gain super type. Bone Clay can also make block slots matching, he will give us the specials back, and his super type will also give us a chain lock which cannot be interrupted by the enemy boss. Since all of the type slots are unfavorable, RCV matching slots will help us, and also rainbow slots can help us from the Straw Hat crew, which you can use as captain if you miss Bone Clay. Treasure Map Rare Recruit Caesar is mainly here for the point boost of course, but to also give us a damage reduction shield, so we can evade defeat when Tashigi inflicts 60,000 damage. Mainly in this intrusion, you are going to need a friend Captain Bone Clay and he will help you a lot. So other than that, then you can use damage boosting units and a unit to reduce damage in the final stage. Hyogoro is also here for his point multiplier, you can replace him with whatever will help you as well if you need to make replacements. My specific team needs stat boosting supports only, nothing special, no sockets, not available for the damage once again because Bone Clay is a new unit, and then the point boost will be 17.99 times, a very high one. And these are all of my teams for the upcoming Treasure Map vs Tashigi. I tried to help as much as possible with replacements, hopefully I did, but if you still have questions, feel free to tell me in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like and also subscribe to the channel for more One Piece Treasure Cruise content. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.